Welcome to Books Mandala's YouTube channel. In this channel, we talk about everything and anything related to books. In today's video, I will be giving a non-spoilery review of a book that you've probably seen at least a dozen times in TikTok. You guessed it, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So if you do not live under a rock, you have heard about this book at least once. But if you haven't, let me do the honor of telling you about this masterpiece. It Ends With Us is a contemporary romance by Colleen Hoover, and it is unlike any other romance book that I've ever read. It is so realistic, so raw, so impactful while being entertaining at the same time. And yes, this book will definitely make you cry unless your heart is made out of rock. So a box of tissues might come in handy while reading this book. If the story itself does not make you cry, the author's note sure as hell will make you cry. It will make you sob. I know you tend to skip the author's notes while reading books, but trust me on this one, do not skip the author's note while reading It Ends With Us, because it will add a realistic and authentic touch. In this book, it will make the story that much more powerful and real, and it will all make sense. It Ends With Us follows our main character named Lily Bloom. Yes. The names in this book are a little bit cringe, but don't let that stop you from reading this book. So back to Lily. Lily is a very hardworking and passionate and a very lovable character. Her childhood and her home environment was very terrible. She had a very difficult time growing up. She struggled a lot in her life. One day, Lily is sitting at the edge of this very tall building in Boston, contemplating her life, and suddenly this random dude comes to the rooftop as well and frantically starts kicking this chair. No, like literally, he starts kicking this chair as though the chair is his biggest enemy ever. After a while, this guy, whose name is Ryle Kinkard, who is also a neurosurgeon, and Lily, they strike up a conversation, and slowly the conversation starts getting deeper. They talk about this thing called naked truth. If you've read this book, you know exactly what I mean by naked truths. They talk about deep stuff and they talk about personal stuff. Lily even shares the fact that her dad, who recently passed away, used to abuse her mother, and how Lily felt so powerless because she couldn't do anything to make her dad stop abusing her mother. Ryle shares about these two brothers and one of them dying because the other one pulled a trigger on the previous brother. But after a while, Ryle had to leave for his hospital. Flash forward sometime later, Lily is starting this flower shop, this really cool flower shop, and there she meets Alicia, and Lily click instantly. They become best friends. Alicia is one of the best characters of this book, and the friendship that Alicia and Lily have is so nice, so pure. We soon find out that Alicia is Ryle's brother, the neurosurgeon that I previously talked about. Ryle and Lily start talking, they feel this spark, this chemistry, but Ryle is one of those dudes who is like, oh, I do not date, I do not do relationship is not my thing kind of dude. Slowly, Lily finds herself becoming an exception to this no dating rule of Ryle's, and they date. This book also follows Lily's past story in forms of letters that she wrote for Ellen DeGeneres. In these letters, she talks about her first love named Atlas Corrigan. Atlas is this amazing dude, and we get to know more about him through Lily's letters. And we get to know more about Lily and Atlas's childhood romance. It is filled with so many adorable moments, but it's also filled with so many struggles and so many painful scenes. Switch to present. One day, Atlas reappears in Lily's life. I would love to talk more about this book, but trust me, any more would be spoiler. I would suggest you look up for trigger warnings before you read this book. This book is honestly a must read, and you should definitely give it a try if you haven't already. And after reading this book, you will definitely know the meaning of the cover and the name of the title. You will know what exactly "It Ends With Us" means.